media. The corporate press just lying to you. The Liberty Bites Back is here.
Oh my God. Thank God.
Against a police state. Against racist intersectionality. Against political correctness. Against mob rule. Against the racist socialist left. Against the victimhood liars. The idiots have been in charge way too long. And that's why you're here. For the podcast you need. All for liberty all the time. Welcome to Liberty Bites Back. With your host, Brandon Emo.
Welcome to the 16th episode of Liberty Bites Back, the podcast all for liberty, all the time. In this episode, I will be going over the human rights violation of the American citizens, NHS creating an ad of Santa sick with COVID-19, and martial law in America. COVID-1984 has created the mess of all of this. This mixture of a Chinese virus that was spread here by Democrat states, where that they also love China, while now local governments are falling into pure tyrants. I'm an anti-federalist, human rights over big government leaning person. I always know that many of us will agree on so much more than disagree. For even all of my beliefs, they're not anyone's but mine. Life is about communicating, not pushing others away or hating, but that's what many choose to do. They choose to be these toxic people falling into the trap, censor all, cancel all. Many fall on the left, whether in the Republicans, the Democrats, or the Libertarians. All of those furthest left of the rest want censorship, and they want to shut many people up. It's also important to stay humble. For if I say 9 times 1 is 10, 9 times 2 is 18, 9 times 3 is 27, 9 times 4 is 36, and 9 times 5 is 45, what is going to happen? Well, everyone is just going to focus on me saying 9 times 1 is 10. And why? Because that was wrong. Ridiculed am I think, therefore I am, and I got every single one correct except the one, and that's your focus. The negative tends to be the focus. And to each of you, every single one of you, understand that one mistake, and that's all they will see. That one mistake. And those are the people not humble in the world, those swayed with this ignorance. Stay humble, stay individual, stay yourself, and stay a free man and a free woman. Communicate and live life even in civil disobedience. Thrills will be found these days sneaking around, being the real change, going back to the normalcy and doing it yourself. If we all did this, all of this would end. There are many that will become an arm of the state as a spy, and this is clear these days. Civilian spies are being set up over COVID-19. Health departments even rely on these spies. Cities, the mayors, the governors, they are all having stores and places you are a customer in, also in the way of your human rights. And all of them are pushing for your neighbors and your citizens alike to be spies against you. The authoritarians are showing their real selves right now. The life we have is the life we have to have. So have it. Do it. Because it's already limited with time, and you never know when that is. You'll never know when you'll actually die. Live your life. Forget about COVID. You're losing opportunity. Our human rights are the most important because we are human. There are basic rights. All of you who are for this limiting basic rights, you're denying the humanity of me. You are denying the humanity of your neighbor. You are denying the humanity of individuals, punishing all as a subhuman piece of trash. Human rights are the most important to protect and to keep in place. This is the destruction of individuality, destroying and limiting the individuality of all people, masking the face, the instant image of yourself. NHS in Britain has created an ad showing Santa sick with COVID-19. Showing the real heroes wear face masks. That's their big gimmick. Britain is known for their propaganda, so it's not unheard for this. Now this is the best I could find to show you the ad. Ignore the words added or such, or even don't.
Good morning. Hi. How are you feeling? Take your time. Take your time. Got you.
What knows what is hiding in those weak and drunken hearts?
Have what you
Yes,
can manage,
kiss
okay?
the girls and make them cry. Those hard-faced queens of misadventure. God knows what is hiding in those weak and sunken eyes. Fiery throngs of muted angels.
Good evening. How you doing? Someone's popular.
People, help the people. And if you're homesick,
We can
give
send
me
you
your
home.
hand and I'll hold it.
Look after yourself. Merry Christmas.
People, help the people. Nothing will drag you
Amazing. Is
down.
this for me?
Thank you for everything you've done for all of us.
And if I
Santa.
had rain, I'd be cold as a stone and rich as a fool. Turned all those good
everyone.
hearts away.
Look at all these presents. Who did this? You think Santa came in and did it? I'd like to think so.
Apologies were never even given with that atrocity. Instead, they doubled down. From MSN News, I will read. NHS defends controversial ad showing Santa nearly dying in the hospital. The NHS has responded to criticism of a new Christmas charity ad. NHS Charities together released it online to raise awareness of the harsh realities faced by frontline workers during the pandemic. Yeah, like they're really saving Santa. Okay, whatever. The tear-jerking ad, which shows Father Christmas battling and recovering from an illness in the care of a health service, has been accused of being insensitive and upsetting the children. Titled The Gift, an elderly white-bearded man is cared for in a hospital bed before he makes a recovery and is wished a Merry Christmas by a nurse. And the nurse is handed a gift by a child, a tag reading from Santa, at which point it dawns on her that she's been treating Saint Nick himself. We adore the ad and dedicate it to the NHS workers who's given everything to care and keep us safe. NHS Charities Together wrote, sharing it on Twitter. Amid now, 8 NHS Charities Together has broken its silence to address the criticism of the ad. A statement read, "We created our Christmas campaign to highlight the ongoing commitment and the hard work of the NHS staff and the volunteers to keep us safe. And what has been and continues to be a really challenging time for NHS. We are really grateful that through the support of our partners, we were able to create a film that get that point across and to encourage people to keep supporting HSS staff, patients, and volunteers by generating donations to our appeal. When we launched the ad earlier in the week, we had an overwhelmingly positive response to it. Some subsequent media coverage of it has generated criticism of the ad on social media, and some people have expressed their concern about upsetting children. It continued, the ad has been made to engage charity supporters and those who want to buy products that generate donations to the appeal. NHS doesn't care at all if little children's panic and terrifying realization will lead to the COVID-19 paranoia, leading to more mental issues for even children. At this point, just telling your kids that Santa is not real may be less devastating than them finding this video. Statism is, of course, always criticized among people. Founding fathers stating that it is a necessary evil. The fact a government is in charge of your country, whether they come in contact with regulating your life, always leads to wondering if they will try to regulate your life completely. Right now, for over 100 years and more, a government has been regulating and controlling parts of our lives, at least in 2020. Like never seen before except in San Francisco during the Spanish flu. Governments locally, state, and nationally are pushing for authoritarian measures on all citizens or their citizens. Regulating our whole lives, at least in the local and state jurisdiction. But the jurisdiction does not constitutionally exist for these measures. Without the Constitution, we still have the argument of them violating our human rights. Our mayors, our governors, and our councilmen, the local people, are failing at keeping our human rights from violation. Instead, they are making our human rights a violation. They are making our human rights illegal to be used during COVID-1984. They are criminalizing our human rights in America, and we are clearly in a state of martial law. It's close to being a year to date, and soon enough we will be able to say that we have been in martial law for a whole year. Locally, they have placed us in martial law and stripped us of our human rights. We are seeing right now, localism can be just as toxic as a bad federal government. And now, many of us, except the non-masked and the non-lockdown areas, we are seeing tyranny rise, police brutality, beating and harming and tasing and mocking the maskless. The maskless are demonized, ignoring the facts of exemptions, ignoring the facts of human rights and individuality. An edict from a governor has created martial law in many states in America, or a mayor pushing their martial law in their city or town. The abuse of power that is oozing from any health department, mayor, or governor, pushing the tyrannical tirade down our throats. Hungry with power, creating new police systems to teach the unmasked a lesson, and to close a store down for a whole day for not harassing their paying customers. This is not just a type of martial law, but is a structuring of culture itself. It is them implying their will on our culture. In a way, similar practices are shown in Prohibition, when the government tried to legalize alcohol, sparking speakeasies, the illegal bars of Prohibition. We are now seeing autonomous zones of people ignoring the orders of COVID-19, to even places illegally staying open, defying their lockdowns. You cannot make anything illegal, because we will do what humans do and use our human rights. Governor DeWine in Ohio has created a new police unit for businesses in the mask mandate, threatening stores, bringing divisions to stores, restaurants, and such, dividing them from their customers, creating issues. USA Today's Jackie Bacardi writes, 35 Ohio stores cited for violations. Ohio officials issued warnings to 35 retail stores this past week for not following face mask and social distancing requirements. A second warning could force a store to close for up to 24 hours. The list includes several gas stations and discount stores. The largest number of employees not wearing masks was observed at Keem, a fourth-generation family-owned business that began in 1911 as a rough lumber mill with just 4 employees, according to the company's website. The Holmes County wood manufacturer and home building retailer has grown to a 50-acre complex with more than 70,000 square feet of retail, office, warehouse, and millwork production space, and nearly 500 employees. Inspectors counted 37 employees present. 35 weren't wearing masks. We have hundreds of employees properly wearing masks, said Jim Smucker, president of Keem. Of the 25 employees mentioned in the citation, most had masks on, but were improperly wearing them. After the citation, we took immediate action to communicate and further train our employees, and have since passed a second inspection. We are committed to following Governor DeWine's mandate to provide a safe environment for both our employees and customers, he added. Inspectors from the Ohio Bureau of Workers' Compensation visited 3,088 retailers in 88 counties from December 7th through the 13th. Compliance with the state's mask mandate was about the same as previous weeks. About 94% of the customers' employees were observed properly wearing a mask over their chin and nose. The previous week, inspectors visited 1,831 stores and cited 23 for the violating COVID-19 rules. The Red Tomato Market Foods in Mount Eden also received a warning. Inspectors said not all employees and customers were properly wearing masks and properly physically distancing also was not being observed. The store manager, Eden Hirschberger, said he believes Americans should be able to express their freedom and criticize the mask order as politically driven. If somebody wants to wear a mask, I'm totally fine with it, but I would like for it to be the same way around for the other, and have the same freedom that they have to wear a mask. Hirschberger said, I've got customers coming in thinking us that they can see a smile. The BWC has about 100 inspectors in the retail compliance unit, which began inspecting stores last month as a part of a stricter state mask order. Directed by Mike DeWine. The state mask order. The order and the inspections don't apply to bars and restaurants, hair salons, or any other types of businesses. The stricter enforcement order requires stores to post a sign at the entrance indicating masks are required, post a maximum capacity limit to ensure 6 feet of physical distance can be maintained throughout the store, place markers on the floor to distance customers standing in lines, designate an on-site compliance officer for each business location. Cumulatively, including inspections from before November 23rd, the mask requirement compliance rate is 93.6% for customers and 94.6% for employees. Results from each week's inspections are posted to the state's coronavirus website on Thursdays. In Ohio, our police can't find and arrest real criminals, murderers, thieves, and burglars. They're not all caught. But our governor creates a whole new police division to punish businesses. Well, don't have your business under DeWine. He's psychotic. Wasting our tax dollar money because he has the biggest ego from any governor ever. Creating a brand new division to enforce his mandate. Not even a real law made by the people representing us. Give us representation, Mike DeWine. Listen to our representatives, because they want you flipping out of there. Listen to the people. We don't want tyrants in Ohio, and you're going to be a one-term governor for sure. You pompous, rich mother flipper. I've talked to many people, and I've talked to Democrats, Republicans, independents in the state of Ohio, and you are a one-term governor. We are not having this. We are against you. We are against you all. This guy is sending goons to Amish country to get their money, since they are exempt from taxes. Oh, don't you lie, DeWine. You are harming our Amish communities, and for many of us here in the Amish areas, the Amish, they bring us tourism. That brings our livelihoods in Ohio. Get your mind on track. Create a vision for something important, like murders, thieves, burglars, or just training officers the difference between suicide and murder, because they suck at that too in Ohio. Do something productive instead of overcompensating, because you're a little dick, DeWine. Get on your booster seat and see the adults in the room. We are not worried about the masks and all this crap. That's you. Because you're having a little tantrum because nobody was listening to you and you thought governor made you king of the land. Well, hell no, sir. You're governor. You can veto laws, but you can't create a damn law at all. You have no jurisdiction, so you had to create your own police to enforce your own bullshit. We in Ohio have lots of representation. We have lost it all. We are madly hating our dictator, our dumb leader, our idiotic puppet to the lobbyists, little Dick DeWine. The Minnesota Vikings, they're allowed, and they are considered politically correct, even though they raped, pillaged, and murdered people everywhere. Any team mascot with a pirate is swell as well. Oh, but again, murder and rape are associated with their lives. Also, both are the majority white. They're white folk. Off of sports even, food is keeping all white mascots, but is banning removing any black mascots along with native, erasing even the references of natives, blacks, Latinos, and such. I am a native. I'm in Ohio even. Right now, it's clear that after 2021, the Cleveland Indians are getting rid of Chief Wahoo. The name Chief Wahoo was also even given to a golden-aged comic book creation in the 1940s, making the Cleveland Indians one of the golden age of America. But now they are to remove the native. Remove the native, the Democrats chanted. Removing the native is what they received. Just simple references of colored-skinned people affects the lives of the Democrats as they get mad and angry over colored mascots, preferring only white. I wonder why. The Cleveland Indians owner said the club is stepping completely away from anything with a Native American connotation. Yet again, the natives are forgotten and left in the dust. Like, why only have white mascots? Why ban and cancel the colored mascots? Because it's clear, it's obvious. The Democrats and those upset from seeing different colored mascots, they're more racist than any, for they are just upset to see a representation of a different race. We must stop the racist Democrats, their racist woke ideology of racist intersectionality, racist critical race theory, and the racist Democrats will see that we all see that they are the real racists here. We all see that you are all going nuts. We all see that you are the most insane because you're going really insane right now. All you have to see is different colored skinned mascots and you go all flipping crazy. And it's clear that it's not just for a good purpose because they remove any images. Not just some that may be drawn in a way of being racist, But they are taking away because they've exposed what they really are. They're just racist. I'd like to go ahead and thank you for watching the 16th episode of Liberty Bites Back. Peace.